Hey guys, what's up? Time for another rambly social study, psychology video. I didn't even feel like getting on camera today actually, but it kind of goes along with what I'm going to talk about. And I want to talk about being insecure, victim complexes, always thinking the world is out to get you, making up excuses, lying about people, and actually, like, what is like true narcissism, right? And of course, I'm going to talk about the overly radical LGBTQ. You know what I mean? It's not just them, but you know what I mean? Because I think there's this idea, and I'm going to talk about a lot of things, I'm just rambling, but I think there's this idea that, you know, when things don't go your way in life, that you want to think that you have an excuse, right? I mean, because I mean, it's like a coping mechanism, right? Like, oh, even think the video game stuff, oh, Clayton, his life must be so easy, or, he didn't really do all this stuff in video games, blah, blah, blah. He hasn't worked as hard as me. He hasn't been through what I've been through. You know what I mean? I'm the real victim here. You know what I mean? Blah, blah. Like the self described victim. You know what I mean? Like only I can have problems, or like, people don't know what it's like to be, insecure like me. I'm not the kind of person I want to be. And, there's this idea that, like, again, we'll say, like, I guess you could say cisgender, but that sounds fucking ridiculous. So let's just say, like, a straight person can't be insecure. Like, I'm a very insecure person. Like, I don't like how I look. Like I said, I don't even feel like, even when I didn't have, like, a webcam, thanks to people that have, helped support the channel, it's not like I'm super horny to get on camera. You know what I mean? I don't like how I look. It doesn't really do anything for me. I got messages, I think it was recently, like, hey, get on camera more. We like how you look, blah, blah, blah. The 2% female viewership and the LGBTQ members that do not hate me, I guess, right? You know, but I mean, I don't like how I look. I feel old. You know what I mean? I see those things on Instagram, YouTube, whatever, like the Metacube stuff. I've been thinking about that kind of thing. You see like people like the Korean skincare thing, like get a more like snatched looking face or something like that. I think about doing stuff like that. Like I'm insecure too. Like I wish I was taller. You know what I mean? I think my dad was 6'3". Again, he killed himself so long ago. I couldn't even tell you. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, right? But man, and I got this big head. I got a big watermelon head. Who knows? Maybe if I wasn't in the hospital and I wasn't always sick, maybe I would have been 6'3". But talking about being insecure, so I'm 5'11" out of bed. I think the biggest I've ever measured myself was 181 centimeters out of bed or something like that. So you know what? I wear Timberlands to make me 6'2". I have insecurity. It could even be something as petty as you could say being insecure. I get red eyes a lot, right? You know what I mean? From Sjogren's and everything. So I use eye drops like this, which I'll put in the Amazon link because I do think these things actually work. You know what I mean? As I've gotten older, I feel old. I'm tired. I have my own insecurities too, right? But I don't like, take my insecurities out on anybody, right? And, people say, oh, Clayton is so narcissistic. He's full of himself, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, I've said, yeah, okay, people steal my pictures on the internet. How much it happens anymore, I don't know. I've seen it very randomly. So I know it still happens, but maybe not as much as when I was younger or something like that. But, I never even was going to get like an Instagram. You know what I mean? But people are like, oh, it's weird. You don't have an Instagram, all that kind of stuff, But, people talk about, oh, you must be so narcissistic. You have no problems, blah, blah, blah. Like, do people have any idea how hard I've had to work for, just say like the body I have, right? You know what I mean? I've had to put a lot of work in for that. Like, say, I guess say if you're one of those people that think I have a cool face or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I put on moisturizer and stuff like that, and I put on like there's like ginseng eye cream. You know what I mean? But I mean, I feel like I'm getting older to the point that it's like, dude, I always have to shave. If I don't shave, I feel like I look like even worse. I like double moisturize now. Like I've never been one of those people that has to like put on makeup or anything. But I'll tell you what, dude, I feel like I'm getting old. I need to start thinking about how I put on makeup. You know what I mean? I remember back when I was younger. I think is when people first started talking about BB cream. I've still never used any BB cream, but I've thought about it. Like, I'm getting old. I feel old. I need to figure out how to use BB cream or something, right? But the point is I'm an insecure person. You know what I mean? I generally don't try to talk about other people's looks or anything like that. The only time I do is like, again, we're talking about say an overly radical LGBTQ member. I don't even fucking remember their name. That's how much I can't keep up with all the people that hate me. And you saw this overly it was in like one of my YouTube videos. They talked about how they're like internationally known for their beauty. And they were making posts how Clayton is one of the most evil people in the entire world. That he hates LGBTQ people for what reason, I don't know, because they didn't have sex with their friend, right? I mean, okay, I guess what? You know what I mean? But he's so narcissistic. He's all that. I want you to think about this. This person, while talking about how evil I am, while making up all these weird lies about me, was talking about how beautiful they are. They're one of the most beautiful people in the world. Everybody knows them for how beautiful they are. I didn't even know who the fuck this person was. When I looked them up, every picture was there wearing a fucking mask. Pretty weird, dude. Yet I'm the person who's extremely narcissistic, all this evil. So people want to be like, oh, you're so narcissistic for saying that you've done all this stuff in video games. Saying a fact isn't narcissism. Me saying something that is true isn't narcissism. The fact that I've done all this stuff in video games while having actual real problems, not made up mental problems. You know what I mean? Like, oh, blah, blah. Clayton, he hasn't been sick. He hasn't done all this stuff. Don't believe him. Don't watch his videos, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Me just stating a fact doesn't make me a narcissist, right? You wanting credit for something that is not true, that's like real narcissism, right? Oh, I should be the best in video games because I know I've had the hardest life. Clayton, he must be evil. I know he must have done all this. I've seen people try to say I take steroids, all that kind of stuff. People, he's done all this, he's done all that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you're just like even making, this stuff isn't even true, right? No, I did actually pick up that TRT prescription. Still haven't taken it, but I've thought of it. But you could say I am insecure enough that I'm afraid if I take it, it's going to make my hair fall out, right? So, you know what I mean? I have fears of that, you know what I mean? I have fears of, some people, they say when they take TRT, it takes a long time for them to actually even get like set in, I guess. You know what I mean? So, I have insecurities, worries about that, but again, I've just been thinking about like this idea that everything is a competition with people, that if you fail in life in some way, if you are not who you are in life, if you have not, this endeavor of, say, video games, you haven't done what you've done in video games, you need to give me credit that I'm the best, even though I haven't done all this shit in a video game, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? You're the narcissist for that. Wanting credit for stuff that you haven't even done. It could be, again, the video game shit. Oh, I want credit for this even though I didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I can't believe Clayton is actually saying he did it, even though it's a fact. He should give me credit. I have the hardest life. What's your hard life? What have you done? We talked about, again, the overly radical LGBT. You can't be the oppressed and the oppressor. You got to fucking pick a struggle. You know what I mean? And, I had a situation as well recently where, you just listen to a person who is supposedly sick and you can tell it's like a competition for them. Like, I have to be the most sick person here. I'm the most sick person. If I'm not the sickest person, it's not real. It just like, I was listening to this person talk and it was just absolutely just disgusting. Like, just, why would you want to have a problem? Why would you want to be sick? Like, it's almost like, legitimately, when you listen to some people talk in these like self-described victims, it's like, dude, do you want to be sick? Do you want to have this problem? Oh, I've been held down. That's why I'm not succeeding in life. it's just like, bro, what is wrong? You don't want to be sick. Being sick sucks. You know, I was supposed to be in Japan recently. I bought the plane tickets. I had to cancel. You know, my health has been absolute shit. And, you know, the living situation, I don't know how that was going to work out. I'm like, I can't fucking do this with my health right now. I've been in and out of the hospital too much. I'm in one of these bad cluster headache periods, you know what I mean? Most painful condition known to man by some doctors. Trust me, you don't want this shit. It fucking sucks, right? But, oh, no, it's not real. I'm the real one that's sick. Oh, you know what? Let's just say I have no respect for people that lie about me being sick. I would have no problem with you taking this. You know what I mean? This kind of stuff, dude. Like, do you know what it's like to be that sick? You can have it. I will give it to you if it's real. You know, and it's like self-described victims, dude, when I listen to people complain. And it's just like, my God, dude, what would you do with a real problem? Just like when I think about, again, going back to the video game shit, you got dudes like, oh, Clayton, he was so mean to me. I answered every fucking one of your messages, you fucking psycho. Where was I mean to you? Oh, well, I just thought maybe you were being mean. Oh, Clayton's being mean to me. He won't give me credit in Marvel, even though, you know, I guess he did write about it and I didn't find it. And fucking self-described victim, dude. Listen, I fail at stuff all the time, right? You know, I don't have the body I want to have. You know what I mean? I'm insecure about that. Like I said, there was a time that, you know, years and years ago, I said before, say something like 4chan, right? You know, I used to look at, you know, I said before, which people don't want to believe me. I didn't really pay attention to the video game shit because I didn't know people were talking about me video game wise like they were until Dragon Ball. But, you know, I looked at stuff like Fit and I looked at other, it doesn't even have to be 4chan. I looked at like internet stuff like, workout stuff and, you know, see what other people are doing. And I wanted to, you know, I don't do it as much anymore, but piece of hair. I don't do as much anymore, but even say on something like YouTube, I'm looking at my phone, Instagram, I don't really care to post pictures of my body or anything like that because I feel like, you know, this is who I am, you know. I don't, my body is what it is with my health. And so there's no reason to, you know, at one point it was almost like, yeah, I got to motivate myself. I got to look at what other people are doing, you know, because then that motivates me. But eventually I just realized this is Clayton Chapman. This is the body that I have with my health, right? But the point is, I'm not the ideal of who I would like to be, right? You know, I feel old, my hair, you know, after getting COVID the second time. There's a thumbnail for the video. You know, after getting long COVID, my hair's never been the same. You know, I feel insecure about that. Which actually, you know, someone can talk shit. You know what? I started taking hair medicine because I just can't get my hair. You know, it's just perpetually been shedding. And you know, people probably be like, it doesn't look that bad, Clayton, or something like that. But I look at it and I can tell it's not as good. So I feel insecure about it, right? But the point is, you know, talking about shit like I wish I was taller, right? I wish I could have been 6'3" like my dad. I'm not. I wear boots and I'm 6'2" with the boots on. I don't know. I'm insecure enough to say I wear Timberlands to make me taller. You know what I mean? I'm not going to lie about it. You know what I mean? Oh, Clayton doesn't wear Timberlands to make him 6'2" or some shit. I would never do that. You know what I mean? I have my own insecurities, but I can like admit them. Me stating a fact that I've done more than you in video games. You haven't had the same problems with me as me. You know what I mean? Like, what is your excuse? You know, that's not narcissism. Saying the truth is a trigger word for some people. Oh, I'm being held down. What are you being held down for? Oh, listen to my post. Oh, I'm one of the most beautiful people. I'm internationally known. I wear a mask all the time. What? And then I can't even believe the audacity of that person to talk about like they're transgender and they've never even gone through the surgery. Like you would think that someone would actually be like, whoa, dude, that's actually like a terrible thing. You know what I mean? Like that's a legitimate life-changing thing. I've never been transgender. Never been yet. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'll be reincarnated. You know what I mean? You know, but I would assume that's a pretty scary thing to go through, right? Right? And so to identify that you've like done the same thing as other people, I think that's actually absolutely terrible. right? Like if I was actually transgender, I've gone through surgery and listening to people that like, oh yeah, I did it. Well, I identified that I went through it and all this kind of stuff. Like, whoa, dude, what? You identified that you're a transgender? I mean, that's kind of fucked up, right? I mean, I don't know. Oh, Clayton hates transgender people. That's why he's posting this. That's why he's saying this shit. I'm just saying because the overly radical are unfortunately the overly radical are the majority of the voices. Or what are the English I'm looking for? Are not the silent majority. The overly radical are not the silent majority, right? The overly radical are the biggest people talking, unfortunately, right? And just I don't know. And then, like I said, I think about the self-described victims and victim complexes, and people want to be in like fights. Like I can't even stand listening to supposed, right? I mean, when you hear someone actually make up stuff about their illnesses and all this kind of sick shit, and it's like, how sick are you even? Like, you don't want to be sick, bro. Like, I've never had a GoFundMe for being sick or anything like that. And you know what? With my health problems, guess what? With real health problems, like I guess I should have. You know what I mean? Because you get shit in there, nothing's even fucking true. I don't know, man. I've been very, I don't know. You know, I don't know, man. Like I said, the point is that, you don't have to take your insecurities out on other people. Everyone gets insecure. I don't have to be transgender to be insecure. I'm insecure about things too. But me telling the truth about something isn't narcissism, right? You blabbling about some made up victim complex, self described victim, making up stuff about, talking shit about other people. Like, who's the real narcissist here, dude, right? You know? I don't know, man. I got a lot on my mind lately. Just, like I said, I feel old. I feel insecure. My entire life feels like it's passed me by. Legitimately has. You know what I mean? I feel old. I'm so tired. Again, I've been in a bad cluster headache and migraine period. Spending almost all the time in bed, dude. And I've been so sick ever since getting the long COVID, of course, right? And, talking about going to Japan recently, geez, I don't even know what I would have done if I would have tried to go. First of all, with the way my health is, I've still been, like I said, that last trip to Japan, I spent most of the time in bed as well. That's why I always just think like people have no idea what it is to have real problems. Like I've actually gone and traveled, gone to other countries. Like, can you imagine? And I feel lucky, right? And of course, I did get screwed that one time. Excuse me, I got really screwed that one time on the living situation. But I'm lucky enough that I've also gotten to stay somewhere for free, right? You know what I mean? Can you imagine that you get to stay in Japan for 6 weeks for free? And can you imagine if you were a healthy person, you'd probably be like, oh man, go get it. Staying out, doing whatever. Guess what? I was in bed most of the time. I was sick most of the time. Like, that's the person that you are jealous of that you think has a fake health problem, right? It's just like, I don't know. If you like videos, like, subscribe, comment, share, support the channel. If you want, I appreciate it. Thanks. The end.